history, humanity has never faced such kind of crisis. These crises are completely unprecedented, and in for the Indian economy, after independence, we have never faced such kind of situation. Now we are facing a crisis which is unprecedented, which is too big to manage, and there are too many uncertainties involved. So, in this situation, what we need or what is the option before us is, first of all, is to save the human lives, then to protect livelihood, or we can say again save or to protect lives from losses in income and employment. And then we need to think about how this short-term crisis should not become a long-term issue in the revival of the economy. So given that, the first priority before the government is to save human lives. And to save human lives, there are two stages in it. One is the immediate. Immediate is how to protect the people to get infected by the virus. And for that, the governments across the world, they have to take unprecedented measures again. And in India, the Indian government acted very swiftly and accurately. They imposed a stringent lockdown in the country, initially for 21 days and then again extended for another 19 days. So in this way, this 40 days lockdown is throughout the country. The government imposed this 40 days unprecedented lockdown, and this lockdown has restricted all economic activities. This restriction on the economic activities is, or we can say that this economy is not like in doing off and on of an electric bulb. It's like a nuclear plant. So this short-term lockdown is imposing many economic restrictions, which may have a medium-term and long-term impacts. And this lockdown or these economic restrictions, they are creating three kind of crises: the supply side restrictions, the demand side restrictions, and they are creating unprecedented uncertainties. So this is one side of that. The other side is for the governments to save lives, is to find or to do efforts on medical emergencies. There we need to strengthen these medical facilities again in an unprecedented way. This is the kind of a crisis on the health front. And then on the economic front, because of this social distancing and lockdown, there are restrictions. There, people are losing their jobs, income losses are there. There are fears of business bankruptcies. These are the in short terms, and if these crises, short-term crises, they are managed appropriately, they may lead to medium and long-term crisis in the economy. This is the one side, and here we should also need to think that as there is demand from these various sections of the society, that government need to make efforts or provide facilities, or you can say the provide benefits to every section of the society, which is not feasible. So here all the stakeholders have to come together for managing this crisis. So let's take from the government side first. And here also we should remember that every crisis has an opportunity which we should not lose. So here in the immediate situations, one, to save lives, as government did, we need to put restriction on the movement, which is giving us some kind of time to manage the crisis. But to manage this crisis, we need to make or do efforts on strengthening our health system, medical system. And for that purpose, we need to create health infrastructures, we need to strengthen medical staff, we need to create those kind of facilities, and all this requires economic resources. So that should be the first priority of any government throughout the world. This is the one thing. Then to manage this short-term economic crisis, as the government has rightly immediately in this first, you can say, this economic package, which was around 1% of the GDP of the economy, the government made efforts to provide some kind of relief to the vulnerable section of the society, that is providing food and some income transfers. And for this medium-term management, we need to go beyond that. And in this going beyond that, the Reserve Bank of India has also again taken measures in the two steps which are giving enough liquidity in the economy. The first relief package by the RBI have, you can say, around 3.5 lakh crores injection of the liquidity in the economy, and this another injection is of around 1 lakh crores. And here the question is, the government, the banks, the Reserve Bank of India is asking these commercial banks to lend to the commercial firms, the businesses, so that they have liquidity and they have more working capital. But banks, rather than providing this liquidity to the businesses, they are again putting their money with the Reserve Bank of India. And why so? Here we can say, given the uncertainties, they have fear of the bankruptcies of these commercial firms. Therefore, to inject or to provide these credit facilities to the businesses, here government have to come out along with this injection of liquidity, some kind of social insurance. And the social insurance can be in terms of sovereign guarantee to the loans, which could be a major step for the survival and revival of the businesses, especially the MSMEs, which is the sector that is the major provider of the employment. Here again, we should go beyond again the government sector, but government have to play a big role into that. Let's take some examples into that. For example, say due to this lockdown, these economic activities, they have come to stand still. People are sitting at home. It's not possible for businesses to pay to the people when they are sitting at home. But simultaneously, it's important for the businesses to keep people on their payrolls, because human capital creation also has an economic value. So therefore, here what government can do or the businesses can do, here all the stakeholders have to come together. So we should suspend during this period all these social security measures are provided. For example, say in the formal sector, these employees are provided these EPF facilities where around 24% contribution is made to that sector, to the EPF. So this 24% we can suspect. So as a result, of course, this future savings of the employee, they may lose, but their in-hand salaries are going not to be affected. Or we can say the demand is not going to be affected in that way. Similarly, here government can take this step that these tax payments, they may be deferred. Means these businesses, they may deduct their TDS, but they will not deposit with the government immediately, but they may deposit that money later on. So in that way, these employees, their in-hand salaries, that remains intact, but government have to pay in terms of deferring the taxes, but businesses have more money as they have to pay less money to the employees. So this may be a win-win kind of scenarios. For the working capital, again, with sovereign guarantee, the government can say that these corporates, they provide, or the banks, these commercial banks provide to the corporates liquidity for their working capital requirements. And here again, this relationship between big corporates and their suppliers, these MSMEs, that needs to be again, we need to relook again on that. These corporates, they can provide credit to their suppliers, MSMEs, and for that purpose, these corporates, they may be allowed to use these CSR funds. Similarly, in the agriculture sector or in the construction sector, these agricultural harvesting activities and construction activities, they may be included in the NREGA activities. So as a result, these employees, they will get the jobs, they will get this work, and simultaneously this construction sector which is in distress, agriculture sector which is in lack of money, they can get the work done even without paying for that. But on the government, they have not to make extra efforts on that. These are the short-term some measures we can take. And for this medium and long terms, we need to change our this economic model. The current world order that is based on this selfishness-based globalization. This globalization we need to change from this selfishness-based globalization to Swadeshi-based model of globalizations, which is embedded in our religious, cultural, social values, and which should be compatible with our domestic, local, political institutions. But doing all this, there should be transparency in this system.